Greetings everyone. Welcome to our first episode of High School Mathematics. Our first topic of discussion is simultaneous equations. What is simultaneous equation? Simultaneous equation is a set of equations that have the same solution. We have two types, linear simultaneous equation and nonlinear simultaneous equation. A simultaneous equation is linear if there is no product of two or more variables. What do we mean by this? Let's take for example, we have x plus y is equals to 5, xy is equals to 6, equation 1, equation 2. The variables involved here are what? X and y. But in equation 2, we have the product of the variables, xy is equals to 6. This means that this given set of equations is not linear simultaneous equation. Another thing is degree of the variables involved must be 1 in all the equations. What do we mean? We have x minus y is equals to 2, x plus y is equals to 3. The variables involved here are x and y. The degree of x here is 1. The degree of y here is 1. This means this is linear. Let's check for the second equation. The degree of x here is 1. The degree of x here is 1. That means this is also linear. This means that this set of equations is linear simultaneous equation. In today's class, we'll be focusing mainly on method of solving linear simultaneous equations. Methods of solving simultaneous equations. Three methods of solving have been highlighted here, which we will discuss one after the other. First method is substitution method. In this method, we substitute the value of one variable in terms of other variable to solve the pair of linear equations. To solve simultaneous equations, we are going to follow these three steps. First example, x plus y equals to 3. 2x plus 3y equals to 7. What is the first step? Find the value of one variable, x or y, in terms of other variable. We pick one of these equations and we make either x or y the subject of the formula. Let's pick equation 1. Make x the subject of the formula. What is equation 1? We want to make x the subject of the formula. That means we want x to stand alone at one side of the equal sign. We have x plus y. We need to remove this positive y from where x is so that we have x to stand alone. We have this to be positive y. That means we will subtract y from both sides. So we have x plus y minus y is equals to 3 minus y. Positive y and negative y. We have this to be x is equals to 3 minus y equation. Let's call this equation 3. Second step, substitute the value of x, 3 minus y, in other equation. What is the other equation? In this first step, we choose what? Equation 1. That means we have already made use of this equation 1. The other equation is equation 2. Substitute x is equals to 3 minus y in equation 2. And equation 2 is what? 2x plus 3y equals to 7. What do we want to do here? We want to substitute the value of x is equals to 3 minus y. Open the brackets. 2 times 3, 6. Minus 2y plus 3y, that is positive y. This is a linear equation in one variable. To get the value of y, we need to move this 6 to the other side of the equation, and this is positive. If we move this positive 6 to the other side of the equation here, it will turn to negative 6. So we have y is equal to 7 minus 6, and 7 minus 6 is what? 1. The value of y is equal to 1. Step 3. Substitute the value of y is equal to 1, into the value of y obtained in step 2. The value of y obtained in step 2 in the equation which is used to obtain the value of the other variable in step 1 into this equation 3. We will substitute the value of y, and the value of y is what? Y equals to 1 into equation 3, which is x is equals to 3 minus y. What is equation 3? X is equals to 3 minus y. X is equals to 3 minus 1, which is equals to 2. So therefore, the value of x is 2, and the value of y is 1. For this pair of equations, we have the value of x to be 2 and the value of y to be 1. Next example, we have we have 2x minus y equals to 2, equation 1. 3x minus 2y equals to 4, equation 2. What is the first step? We choose one of these equations, make one of the variables the subject of the formula. Let's take equation 1. We want to make x the subject of the formula in equation 1. And what is equation 1? That is 2x minus y is equals to 2. To make x the subject of the formula, we need to move minus y to the other side of the equation. We are looking for x. Divide both sides by 2. And we call this equation 3. The next step is we are going to substitute x is equals to 2 plus y all over 2 into the other equation. And what is the other equation? That is equation 2. Because we have already made use of what? The equation 1. Equation 2 is 3x minus 2y equals to 4. What is x? 2 plus y all over 2. What we need to do here first is check if the denominator, that is 2, can divide what we have outside here, which is 3. Can 2 divide 3? No. What we to do next is use this 3 to multiply everything we have at the numerator here. So we have 3 multiplied by 2, that is 6, plus 3 multiplied by y, that is 3y, over 2 minus 2y is equals to 4. We have this to be fraction. This is 2y. Let's write this as a fraction also. That means we have this as over 1. Let's write this as a fraction. We have this as over 1. Now take the LCM of what we have at the denominators here. LCM of 2 and 1 and 1. What is the LCM of 2, 1, 1? That is 2. Now the next thing is use the LCM, which is 2, to multiply each fraction. These 2 can cancel these 2. Now we have 1 outside. 1 multiplied by what we have at the numerator, it will still be the same. That is 6 plus 3y minus 2 multiplied by 2y, that is 4y, divided by 1, still 4y, is equals to 2 multiplied by 4, that is 8, divided by 1, that is still 8. We have this to be 6 minus y is equals to 8. Collect the like times. Minus y is equals to 8 minus 6 minus y is equals to 2. We are looking for the value of y. That means we need to divide both sides by the coefficient of y, and the coefficient of y here is what? Minus 1. We have y is equals to, what do we have in front of these two? That is positive, because anytime we have ordinary number like this, the sign here is always positive. Positive divided by negative, that is negative. 2 divided by 1, that is 2. That means that the value of y is minus 2. Now the next step is substitute the value of y is equals to minus 2 into equation 3. 2 plus y over 2, and this is equals to 2 plus minus 2 over 2. X is equals to 2 plus times minus, that is minus 2 over 2. 2 minus 2, 0 over 2. 0 divided by 2, that is still 0. So we have the value of x is equals to 0 and the value of y is equals to minus 2. The next example, which is example 3. What is the first step? Choose one of the equation given. Make one of the variables the subject of the formula. Let's take equation 1. Make P the subject of the formula. And what is equation 1? That is 2P plus 3Q is equals to 13. 2P is equals to, we will move this positive 3Q to the other side of the equation, and we are going to have 3 minus 3Q. Divide both sides by the coefficient of P, and that is 2. We call this equation 3. The next thing is substitute the value of P, which is 13 minus 3 cube all over 2 into what? The other equation. We made use of equation 1. That means the other equation is what? Equation 2. And what is equation 2? P is equals to 13 minus 3 cube over 2 minus 4 cube. This is equals to minus 2. Can 2 divide 5? No. That means we are going to use this 5 to multiply everything we have at the numerator here. 13 times 5, that is 65. Minus 3 cube times 5, that is 15 cube over 2 minus 4 cube is equals to minus 2. This is in fraction. Write this in fraction. This will be over 1. Also, this will be over 1. Now, what is the LCM of 2, 1, 1? The LCM is 2. The next thing is multiply each fraction by the LCM, which is 2. Now we have 65 minus 15q minus 8q is equals to minus 4. First of all, add this together. We have 65 minus 23q is equals to minus 4. Collect the like times. 65 will be moved to the other side of the equation. So we have minus 23q is equals to minus 4 minus 65. Minus 23q is equals to minus 69. How are we going to get the value of q? Divide both sides by the coefficient of q, and that is minus 23. Minus 23q divided by minus 23 is equals to minus 69. Minus 69 divided by minus 23. Here 3. Q is equals to 3. Now the next step is substitute the value of q is equals to 3 into equation 3. And what is our equation 3? That is P is equals to 13 minus 3q over 2. P is equals to 13 minus 3, open bracket and close bracket of 3. This is 13 minus 3 times 3, 9 over 2. 13 minus 9, that is 4, divided by 2, which is equals to 2. This means that P is equals to 2 and Q is equals to 3. The next example here is example 4. We are going to pick one equation. Make one of the variables the subject of the formula. Equation 1. Make x the subject of the formula. We want to make x the subject. We first of all need to move forward 3y to the other side of the equation, but we have this to be positive. So this will change to negative. Divide both sides by what? Coefficient of x. And the coefficient of x here is what? 4. We call this equation 3. Next is substitute x is equals to 18 minus 3y over 4 into the other equation. And the other equation is what? Equation 2. Can 4 divide 2? No, 4 cannot divide 2. So what we are going to do here is use this 2 to multiply everything we have at the numerator here. 2 times 18, 2 times 3 over 4 minus 5y is equals to minus 4. This is a fraction. Write this as a fraction. Also write this as a fraction. What is the LCM of 411? The LCM of 411 is 4. Now, multiply each fraction by what? By the LCM. We have this to be 4, 36 minus 6y over 4 minus 5, 5y over 1 is equals to 4 minus 4 over 1. 4 we cancel 4 here. What we are going to have left here is what? 36 minus 6y minus 4 times 5, that is 20, is equals to 4 times minus 4, that is minus 16. We have this to be 36 minus 26 is equals to minus 16. Collect the like times. We are going to have minus 26y is equals to minus 16 minus 36 minus 26y is equals to minus 52. Now, to get the value of y, divide both sides by what? Minus 26. Y is equals to 2. If y is equals to 2, how are we going to get the value of x? Substitute the value of y, which is 2, into what? Equation 3. And that is x is equals to 18 minus over 4. This is equals to 18 minus 3 open bracket of 2 close bracket over 4. 18 minus 6 over 4. X is equals to 18 minus 6. That is 12. And this is 3. This implies that the value of x is equals to 3 and the value of y is equals to 2 for this simultaneous equation. With this explanation, what is the solution to this equation? The next method of solving simultaneous equation is another method of solving simultaneous equation is elimination method. In this method, one variable is eliminated from both equations to have an equation in one variable. These are the steps involved when solving simultaneous equation by elimination method. Example 1. We have 3x plus 2y equals to 2 and 9x minus 4y equals to 1. What are we going to do here? Let's come back to step 1. Make the coefficients of one variable, x or y, numerically equal. What do we mean by this? If we choose to eliminate x, the coefficient of x in equation 1 and the coefficient of x in equation 2 must be equal. We have this to be 3 and we have this to be 9. That means we will find a way of making this coefficient the same. Also, if we choose to eliminate y, we must find a way of making the coefficients of y in equation 1 and the coefficients of y in equation 2 to be equal numerically. And that means that we will not consider the signs that we have here. Now, let's eliminate x. The coefficient of x in equation 1 is what? Is 3. The coefficient of x in equation 2 is what? Is 9. To make this coefficient equal, multiply equation 1 by the coefficient of x in equation 2, and that is what? 9. And also multiply equation 2 by the coefficient of x in equation 1. What do we have here? 3. We are going to have 3 multiplied by 9, that is 27. 27x plus 2 multiplied by 9, that is 18. 18y is equals to 2 multiplied by 9, 18. Let's call this equation 3. 9 multiplied by 3, that is 27, minus 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. 12y is equals to 1 multiplied by 3, that is 3. Let's call this equation 4. Step 2. Now, add or subtract both equations so that one variable is eliminated. How are we going to know whether we have to add or subtract? Now, we have the same coefficient numerically. Now, let's consider the signs that we have. We have this to be positive and we have this to be positive. If they have the same sign, we have to do what? We have to subtract. But if we have different signs, let's assume this is positive and this is negative, we have to add the two equations together. But in this case, we have both to be positive, positive. That means that we are going to do what? Subtract equation 4 from equation 3. Subtract equation 4 from equation 3. And subtracting equation 4 from equation 3 will give us what? That is equation 3 minus equation 4. Now, equation 3 first. 27x minus equation 4, 27x. Now back to equation 3. What do we have here? Plus 18y minus equation 4. What do we have in equation 4? Minus 12y. We have minus here, so put that inside bracket. Minus 12y is equals to equation 3, and that is 18 minus equation 4, and that is 3. 27x minus 27x, this we cancel. We are going to have 18y minus times minus, that is plus 12y is equals to 18 minus 3, that is 15. 18y plus 12y, this will give us 30y is equals to 15. To get the value of y, we have to do what? We have to divide both sides by the coefficient of y, which is 30. So we are going to have 30y divided by 30 is equals to 15 over 30. Y is equals to 1 over 2. The value of y is 1 over 2. Next step. Solve the equation in one variable to get the value of this variable, x or y. Now the last step, substitute this value. The value we get here, that is y is equals to 1 over 2 in either of the given equations, either equation 1 or equation 2. To get the value of the other variable. Now let's choose equation 1. Substitute y is equals to 1 over 2 in 1. What is equation 1? That is 3x plus 2y is equals to 2. What is the value of y? 1 over 2. 3x plus 2, 1 over 2 is equals to 2. 2 can cancel this 2. So we are going to have 3x plus 1 is equals to 2. Collect the like signs. Move this positive 1 to the other side of the equation, and the positive will change to what? Minus. That is 3x is equals to 2 minus 1. 3x is equals to 1. Divide both sides by 3. So this means that x is equals to 1 over 3 and y is equals to 1 over 2 for this system of equations. Example 2. Step 1. Make the coefficient of one variable x or y numerically equal. Let's come down to this. What is the coefficient of x here? It is 1. Coefficient of x here, it is 1. That means the coefficient of x in this equation 1 and equation 2 are already the same. Let's check for y. The coefficient of y here, numerical coefficient of y here is 1. And the coefficient of y here, numerically, is also 1. We also have the same coefficient for y in equation 1 and equation 2. That means we don't have to do any multiplication like this. We move on to step 2. Now, add or subtract both equations so that one variable is eliminated. If we choose to eliminate x, this is positive and this is positive. They have the same sign. That means we are going to subtract. But if we choose to eliminate y, this is positive, this is negative. They have different signs. That means we are going to add. Let's eliminate y. That means that we are going to add what? Equation 1 and equation 2. And if we are to add 1 and 2, that means equation 1 plus equation 2. Equation 1, x plus equation 2, that is x. Back to equation 1 plus y plus equation 2. What do we have in equation 2 here? That is minus y. Is equals to equation 1, that is 8, plus equation 2, that is 2. This is 2x plus y plus times minus, that is minus y is equals to 10. Plus y minus y, they will cancel each other. So we have 2x is equals to 10. To get the value of x, we need to divide both sides by what? By 2. So we are going to have 2x is equals to 10. The value of x is equals to 10 divided by 2, and that is 5. The value of x is 5. How are we going to get the value of y? We substitute the value of x into any of these equations. What is equation 1? That is x plus y is equals to 8. The value of x is 5. Collect like times. We have y is equals to 8 minus 5, which is equals to 3. This implies that the value of x is equals to 5 and the value of y is equals to 3. Example 3. We have x minus y equals to 12. 2x minus y equals to 35. What are we going to do? We want to eliminate one of these variables, either x or y. If we choose to eliminate x, the coefficient of x in equation 1 is 1. The coefficient of x in equation 2 is 2. Is 1 equals to 2? No. We must first of all make the coefficient of x in both equations the same. But why? The coefficient of y in equation 1 is 1, and the coefficient of y in equation 2 is 1 numerically. That means numerically the coefficients of y in both equations are the same. Let's eliminate y. Since we already have the coefficients of y in both equations to be the same numerically, what are we going to check next? We are going to check whether to add or subtract. But we have this to be minus and we have this to be minus also. That is same sign. That means that we will subtract equation 2 from 1. We are going to subtract equation 2 from 1. Subtract 2 from 1. That means 1 minus 2. Equation 1. What is equation 1? This is x minus 2x. Equation 1 again. Minus y minus y is equals to 12 minus 35. X minus 2x. This will give us minus x. Minus y plus y is equals to 13 minus 35. That is 12 minus 35. That is minus 23. Minus y plus y cancel each other. So we have minus x is equals to minus 23. To get the value of x, divide both sides by minus 1. So this is minus x over minus 1 is equals to minus 23 over minus 1. X is equals to 23. Since the value of x is what? Is 23. What is the value of y? Substitute x is equal to 23 in equation 1. And equation 1 is x minus y is equals to 12. The value of x is what? 23. Collect the like times. That is 23 minus 12 is equals to y. We have y is equals to 23 minus 12. That is 11. X is equals to 23 and y is equals to 11. With this explanation, what is the solution to this system of equation? And the last but not the least is cross multiplication method. Of solving simultaneous equations is cross multiplication method. To explain this method, let's solve some examples. Example 1. we have x plus y equals to 7 and 3x plus y equals to 13. What will be the first step here? Notice that we are given the general form of two simultaneous linear equations here. That means we will first of all move this constant to the other side of the equation, and we will have x plus y minus 7 equals to 0. 3x plus y minus 13 equals to 0. The second step is the arrangement of the numbers, coefficient of x, coefficient of y, and the constant. But here we have b1, b2 first. What is b1, b2? That's the coefficient of y in equation 1 and coefficient of y in equation 2. What is the coefficient of y in this equation? That is 1. Coefficient of y in the second equation is 1. Next is C1, C2, the constant in equation 1 and the constant in equation 2. The constant here is minus 7. The constant here is minus 13. And next, A1, A2, coefficient of x in equation 1, coefficient of x in equation 2. Coefficient of x in this equation is what? 1. Coefficient of x in this equation is what? 3. And back to the coefficient of y in equation 1, coefficient of y in equation 2. And that is 1, 1. Next is to cross multiply. We will multiply this and this together, this and this together, this and this together, this and this together, this and this and this. But we are going to take the difference of the multiplication. Minus, minus, minus. This first two columns is for x, as we have it here, x. That means we will have x over 1 times minus 13. 1 times minus 13 minus what we have here. 1 times minus 7. 1 times minus 7 is equals to, the second and third column is for y. Minus 7 times 3 minus 13 times 1 is equals to, and the last two columns is for the constant, and we are going to write that to be 1 over 1 times 1 minus 3 times 1. So we have this to be x is equals to 1 times minus 13. This is minus 13 minus 1 times minus 7. That is minus 7. This is equals to y over minus 7 times 3. That is minus 21 minus 13 times 1. That is minus 13 is equals to 1 over 1 times 1 minus 3 times 1 x over minus 13 minus times minus plus over 7 plus 7 is equals to y over minus 21 minus times minus, that is plus 13 is equals to 1 over minus 2. We again have x over minus 13 plus 7, that is minus 6, is equals to y over minus 21 plus 13, that is what? Minus 8. This is equals to 1 over minus 2. Now we have this. What should be the value of x and what should be the value of y? X is equals to, what do you have under as the father to the time to know. What do we have as the denominator? Now, this is the fraction of x. What do we have at the denominator here? What do we have at the denominator here? That is minus 6. Minus 6 over, you can see that what is here is this, over a1 b2 minus a2 b1. And that is what? Over minus 2. Minus 2. And this is equals to 6 divided by 2. That is 3. Y is equals to the fraction of y. What is at the denominator here? That is minus 8 over, what do we have here for the constant? That is minus 2. This cancel this, and we have this to be 4. That means that the value of x is equals to 3 and the value of y is equals to 4. Example 2. For this second example, we have 3x plus 2y is equals to 2. 9x minus 4y is equals to 1. What are we going to do first? Bring this constant to the other side of the equation. So this is 3x plus 2y minus 2 equals to 0, and 9x minus 4y minus 1 equals to 0. Now let's arrange the numbers, starting from the coefficient of y. 2 minus 4 minus 2 minus 1, 3, 9, back to 2 minus 4, cross multiplication. And we're going to take the difference of the results. This first two column is for who? Is for x. We have this to be x over 2 times minus 1, that is minus 2, minus 4 times minus 2, minus times minus, that is plus, 4 times 2, that is 8, is equals to, second and the third column is for y, minus 2 times 9, that is minus 18, minus 1 times 3, that is minus 3, is equals to 1 over 3 times minus 4. We have that to be minus 12, minus 9 times 2, that is 18. So we have x is equals to minus 10 is equals to y over minus 18 minus 3, that is minus 18 plus 3. Minus 18 plus 3 will give us minus 15. Minus 15, and this is equals to 1 over minus 30. Now, what will be the value of x and what will be the value of y? X is equals to, what do we have here? Minus 10 over, what do we have here? Minus 30. This is equals to 1 over 3. And y is equals to, what do we have here? Minus 15 over minus 30. And that is equals to 1 over 2. The value of x is 1 over 3 and the value of y is 1 over 2. The next example. What we have here is 2x minus y equals to 2, 3x minus 2y equals to 4. What is the first thing to do? Bring the constant to the other side of this equation. So we have 2x minus y minus 2 equals to 0. 3x minus 2y minus 4 equals to 0. The next thing is the arrangement. Starting from coefficient of y. The coefficient of y here is what? -1, -2, -2, -4, 2, 3, and -1, -2. Cross multiply. We will minus there. The first two columns is for x. -1 times -4, minus times minus, plus 1 times 4, that is 4, minus -2 times -2, minus times minus, plus 2 times 2, that is 4. This is equals to, the second and the third column is for y. -2 times 3, that is -6, minus -4 times 2, that is -8, equals to 1 over -2 times -2, that is -4, minus 3 times -1, that is -3. X over 0 is equals to y over -6 plus 8 equals to 1 over -4 plus 3. So we are going to have x over 0 is equals to y over 2, and this is equals to 1 over -1. Now, what is the value of x and what is the value of y? X is equals to, what do we have here? 0 over -1, and this is 0. Y is equals to, what do we have here? 2 over -1, and that is -2. This implies that the value of x is equals to 0 and the value of y is equals to -2. And the last example, what are we going to do first? We are going to move the constant to the other side of the equation, and that is x plus y minus 3 equals to 0. 2x plus 3y minus 7 equals to 0. Now the arrangement of the numbers, starting from the coefficient of y. We have this to be 1. Coefficient of y here is 3. Constant, minus 3 minus 7. Coefficient of x in equation 1, that is 1. Coefficient of x in equation 2, 2. Back to coefficient of y. We cross multiply. First two column is for x. 1 times -7, that is -7. Minus 3 times -3, that is -9. Minus 3 times 2, that is -6. Minus 7 times 1, that is -7. 1 times 3, minus 2 times 1. So we are going to have x over -7, minus times minus, that is plus. Y over -6 plus 7 is equals to 1 over 1. This will give us, now what will be the value of x and what will be the value of y? The value of x is, what do we have here? 2 over, what do we have here? 1. That is 2. And the value of y is, what do we have here? That is 1 over, what do we have here? 1. The value of x is equals to 2 and the value of y is equals to 1. And this is the end of today's class. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share for others to learn. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in the next class.